welcome to Club Fuck It Bucket. We're not in the Fuck It Bucket today. We are in my home, and apparently I have some sort of affinity for like disembodied body part furniture. I just realized my background is kind of weird and a little bit creepy. So there we go. Anyway, Club Fuck It Bucket, it's where people come to tell their stories about times in their life when they wanted to make a change. The universe was like, shouldn't do that. All of the people around them were like, shouldn't do that. And then they were just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do it and see what happens. And today we are going to have I always say this, one of my favorite fucketeers. Y'all are always my favorite fucketeers, but like really, really one of my favorite fucketeers because Sims Tillerson has zero filter and will talk about anything and everything and put anybody in their place if they're an asshole. And that just warms my heart. So Sims, come on out. I can't wait to have you on the show today. Hi, welcome.
That head is just like absolutely fucking terrifying.
I know, it's a little scary, isn't it? And there's like a hand too, and then a face. And what you can't see is I have this like plaster deer head on the wall, and I just ordered, it's not back there yet, but I just ordered a bust of Julius Caesar with holes in the back where you keep your pens. And so it looks
that's really funny though.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, so that will be on there soon. But anyway, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that our guests in the audience are here. Mary, happy Wednesday. Comment, let us know that you're here, especially if you have been witness to some of Sims just like body parts everywhere. That you know what, that should be your that should be your tagline, Sims, because you just leave like a wake of destruction behind you when people are like on LinkedIn, and I don't know about anywhere else, being assholes and like engaging in poor human activities.
I'll adopt it. I'd rock a body parts everywhere hat, t-shirt, merch line coming soon. Oh, I'm getting like a bunch of new tattoos in a couple of weeks, and so maybe we'll do that one.
Yeah, hashtag body parts everywhere. Sims Tillerson, people. you were here. Sims, oh my God, I'm so excited to have you here. One of my favorite parts about you is I feel like that you, I don't know, was there a time in your life where you just decided to become like a social justice warrior, or were you like always kind of like that?
Oh yeah, so this will be fun. So I grew up in a really small town in Georgia, and like so small, in fact, that it's still segregated, and I don't say that lightly. So I grew up in a very different kind of social environment and mindset than I'm in now. So I actually went to college at Georgia Tech, and white dudes are a minority at Georgia Tech. So I was exposed to a variety of different people and different opinions, and that's what started to kind of shift this for me. And then as I dabbled in economics and comparative political theory in college, I started to see, the world isn't really the same for other people as it is for me. So the change really happened when I was like 19 years old, and I'm just trying to make up for lost time.
I love that. I forget who it is. Mark Twain or somebody like Samuel Clemens said something that was like basically the cure for a small mind is travel and exposure to other people, right? And other lifestyles. I also grew up in a really small town in Oklahoma. I definitely have people on Facebook who I'm not connected with anymore, but like for a long time had, especially during the last couple of elections, like some of the stuff they said, right? But I do distinctly remember at one point thinking like, I grew up with this, like, pull yourself up from your bootstraps mentality. And then one day I realized not everybody has boots, right? And even if you do have boots, sometimes they don't have laces or straps to pull them up by. And so like that, you can't tell somebody to pull themselves up by their bootstraps if they are shoeless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay. So you went to college in Georgia Tech. What did you study?
So I studied mechanical engineering, got kicked out. Went back, studied business, got kicked out again. Ended up at Presbyterian College in Clinton, South Carolina, studied business and economics. And you'll find this funny because you know about my political and economic stances now. I got a capitalism grant from a bank to go to George Mason and study comparative economic and political theory. Hilarious. But
That's
eventually graduated from Presbyterian College with a degree in business.
And did you get kicked out because you had bad grades, or were you causing kerfuffles?
To the administration's knowledge, grades only.
Okay.
But I was involved in quite a few extracurriculars. I had a bar band that played around Atlanta all the time, and we would play till 4 a.m. So my 8 a.m. classes were no good. And then I also, sold weed and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's something you talk really kind of openly about, actually, is that you've had some issues with addiction over the years, and you've had to kind of fight past that to the administration's knowledge. Yeah, that's all. That would be my tagline growing up. And yet, so you've been kicked out of college. You've lived this whole life. You've got tattoos everywhere. You're just like one of the most kind of unconventional people I know. You've suffered from addiction, as well as some other really hard things in your life. Like, how was there? I guess was there like you talked about, like, when you were 19, you started to see the world. Was there a moment in your life where you just had to kind of be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to be this person anymore. I'm going to create the Sims Tillerson I want to be and like grow into for the rest of my life. Was that like a moment for you?
It was a handful of moments. And it's still happening. So, I worked in agriculture for Sunny Purdue for a little while right out of college and hated it, but that's all I knew how to do. And then I went into the Fortune 500 world, and I was like, all right, I'm going to be the CEO of Unum Group. That's what I'm going to do. And so I was straight-laced, I still did coke and stuff secretly, but right. I was just like the straight-laced guy.
Of all the meetings, right?
Yeah. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And then when that didn't work for me anymore, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go out on my own. I'm going to create this persona. And over the last few years, I've just seen how much happier and how much more fulfilled I am the more I lean into who is Sims Tillerson, truthfully. So I'd say that it's ever evolving.
Right. And so, we all are, right? Like, I'm not the same person I was a year ago or 5 years ago, or, and life changes us. But for me, like, and as we were kind of prepping for this, one of the things that stood out for me is you're like, I started to be real as fuck in my last role. And so, like, I feel like you made this decision. I'm going to be this like, this is who I'm going to be. I'm going to keep growing. And as I become this person, as I grow into this person, there's going to be no doubt in anybody's mind who that is and what I stand for and all of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was, when I ventured out of the Fortune world and started selling without like a big brand behind me, I was really afraid to put prospects off. And I sell in the employee benefit space. Most people in the space are very conservative, straight-laced, older white guys. And so some of the things I believe in, some of the things I stand for, some of the things I've been through, from, sexual abuse to narcotics addiction to getting kicked out of college, that shit doesn't flow really well in the environment we're talking about. So I was terrified that I was going to alienate prospects and lose out on sales. And what I began to learn, really in my first head of sales role, was like, I don't want to fucking do business with those people. I want to do business with people that like me. And so for, everybody that I put off and alienate, I gain one new raving fan. And that's the way I look at it now. Because not everybody appreciates my brand of honesty. but some people really do.
Yeah. And those are the people who will be loyal to you for life, no matter where they go, whichever
Right.
organization they're in, what role they're in, they will say, oh, I know a guy, and they're going to pull you in. And so those, in sales, we talk about client lifetime value. That's where I feel like that you get the highest lifetime value are people who really appreciate you for you. But so now you've been head of sales, you rock it in the sales world. And then, hey, John. Uh, and then from our perspective on LinkedIn, a little bit kind of out of nowhere, a few months ago, you were like, oh, fuck it. I'm going to do something new, right? I'm going to go somewhere else. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I got fired from my head of sales role at a software company when my son was like a week old, and we won't go into what happened there. But essentially, after that, I was like, God, I need money, and I need to put food on the table. Me and my wife were both unemployed because she had been job eliminated when she was 9 months pregnant. We won't get into that either.
Right.
But essentially, thank God for LinkedIn. I got tons of offers, fantastic offers from all over the place. I couldn't take the job I really wanted because it would have violated my non-compete. So I took a job with a great firm. They're not listed on my LinkedIn. I was only with them for like 30 days. They took care of me while I was there. And then I got a call from my friend Alexa Baggio, founder and CEO of Perks. And she was just like, we had stayed in touch, talked about some things she was doing. She was like, you're going to come be my head of sales. And I was like, no, I'm fucking not. I'm absolutely not. I just started with this company like 30 days ago. And, we go back and forth. And eventually the offer is too good for me to put down. And it includes some skin in the game in the company and the ability to control my own destiny without really being an entrepreneur. So my wife, who is very risk averse, was finally just like, Sims, you're going to be furious at yourself if you don't try. So like, just try. And if you fail, like you fail, who fucking cares? You'll find another job. And here we are.
That's amazing. I love that. Can I have you come talk to my college classes? This is like a real offer. My college students struggle with this all the time, right? Like I teach undergrad and master's courses. And the two things I think they struggle the most with are trying to understand on LinkedIn how just connecting with people who have the right vibe for you and building authentic connections will open doors within any industry, right? Like you don't have to only connect with people in your industry to do that. And that when I got laid off as head of sales completely unexpectedly, and we won't go into that until we're offline. Same thing, right? Like I wrote one line on LinkedIn and I told this funny story about the doctor's appointment. And then I got home and I had 2 literally blank canvas offer letters in my inbox. They said, we don't know what we're going to have you do, but we want you to come work with us. Yeah. How boring would it be? Like into an echo chamber, but also you don't know who knows people, right? Like I have one student who managed to connect with somebody she really, really liked. She wanted to be in the biotech industry. And turns out that that woman's sister-in-law does something with like biomedical innovation at Johnson & Johnson, my student's dream job, right? So like, you don't know. But yeah, I ended up getting, I think, 11 offers over the course of a month just because, But then the other part is, and if any of my students most of my students are team replay whenever they watch this. But so whenever you're watching this, one of the things that Sim said that's just so important is if it doesn't work out, fuck it. You'll find another job, right? Like you don't have to know what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
No.
Just find people who are amazing and work with them and do the right things, and great opportunities will come to you.
Yeah. And you can do something for a little while and go do something else. I've cleaned chicken coops. I've been a dishwasher. I've been a head of sales. Like you can do all kind of shit. You never know what's next.
Yeah. Yeah. And all the things that you do lead to like greater skills in the next soul, right? Mary, I love you because Mary put in there authentic connections 100%. And Mary is like the most authentic. She and I became friends on LinkedIn, and it's just like this, right? Immediately. So, all right, we're over time. I feel like I could sit and talk to you. In fact, I'm going to talk you into like just a one-on-one once we go offline. But so Sims, tell everybody where to find you. What's the best way to connect with you? Go for it.
Yep. You can always find me on LinkedIn all the time. Literally way too much of my time on LinkedIn. Sims Tillerson. The follow button is highlighted, but send me a connection request. Tell me you saw me on Club Fuck It Bucket, and I will accept.
Amazing. Awesome. Sims, thank you so much for being here today. I loved having you on. I just love you. You're a very good human, and that makes me so happy to be in your sphere of influence. So everybody join us on Friday at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time for the next episode of Club Fuck It Bucket with another amazing
T is so cool. So I'm so pumped to watch that.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Awesome. Everybody have a great rest of the week. See you on Friday.